Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to GhostGG. Today, we're reacting to Silent Hill 2, the story trailer and the hands-on preview. We're gonna react to both of these videos. So let's get right into it.
Peggy 18.
I have not played the original Silent Hill games. They're kind of out of my time,
honey,
a bit older, but I do know of them. Obviously, they're very popular.
After we got separated in that long hallway, are you confusing me with someone else? You were always so forgetful. Remember that time in the hotel?
Are you taping again? Come on.
Taping. Not recording. He's taping.
I just love it here. It's so peaceful.
It definitely looks better than the originals, quality-wise.
That town.
Modern day, you know.
You promised you'd take me there again someday.
I do know the story of Silent Hill 2,
you
though.
Never did. Well, I'm alone there now, in our special place.
Just put the gun to their head.
Ooh, looks great.
You can't just kill someone because the way they looked at you.
You should see your face, Jane.
Let go!
I'm sorry, Laura, but I can't let you just run around this place. You might get hurt.
Hurt by what?
This place is different from what I remember. I don't think she's here anymore.
This whole town. Might be best if you just get out of here.
Yeah, you're right.
You said you took everything. But you forgot that videotape we made.
How do you know about that? Aren't you Maria?
I'm not your Mary.
So
It does
you
look
are
good.
Maria.
I think people are
If you want me to
kind of conflicted on like character models or how they look or something. It does look good to me, but also I didn't play
You
the
see it
original, so I
too?
can't say like it's better than
For
the
me, it's
originals or
always like this.
whatever, or it doesn't hold up. I don't know. Oh, a VHS. Look at that.
Doesn't matter who I am. I am here for you, James. See? I'm real.
Oh, there we have it, baby. Silent Hill 2 story trailer. October 8th. I didn't realize it was releasing this year. PS5 and Steam. I guess it might be like a PS5 timed exclusive or something. But also it's coming to Steam right away as well. So let's get right into Silent Hill 2 hands-on preview. Let's see actual gameplay and stuff.
In my restless dreams, I see that town.
Oh, I should say, I have seen a entire like timeline video of the Silent Hill franchise, so all the games. Silent Hill 2, I believe, was the most popular of the games, and I do remember that story most of all from the video that I watched. It was definitely the most like brain twisting and like psychologically kind of crazy story. So yeah, this is definitely a game I'm going to end up playing. I do like playing horror games on the channel. It's fun. But yeah, just for context, you know.
Hill.
Do know the story.
Ever since the release of the Resident Evil 2 remake, developers have returned to the well en masse to give their classic games a new lease of life, more often than not with mixed results. From what I've seen so far, the upcoming Silent Hill 2 remake doesn't come close to hitting the heights of Resident Evil 2, a blueprint for how a great remake is made, but it certainly feels like developer Bloober Team has made a lot of the right decisions when building on the survival horror classic's undeniable legacy, even if at times it feels a little too safe.
I do wonder what the critiques are for someone who hasn't played the original.
I played the opening 3 hours of Silent Hill 2, and it was immediately apparent from the off that the remake gracefully captures all the important elements. An oppressive tone and straightforward game mechanics, even when the task itself is being obtuse. As with any Silent Hill game, atmosphere is king, and Silent Hill 2 immediately and consistently puts you in a state of unease.
That's good.
A thick fog surrounds the town just like in the original, but now benefits from modern lighting and volume, thanks to today's technical improvements. The streets are now filled with a new level of
Visually
detail,
speaking, it looks
shops
great.
are explorable, and strange sounds, cries, and groans are dynamically lurking around every corner. I can imagine it would have been incredibly tempting to layer music into the Silent Hill 2 remake, bringing the scares more in line with contemporary horror hits. But its slavish resistance is commendable, as the diegetic sounds of Silent Hill are where the game really sings, or rather drones. Every room in the woodside apartments creates its own version of uneasy tension, subtly assaulting you with an oppressive, unearthly soundscape of pulses and organic audio. From the moment that protagonist James enters Silent Hill, the onslaught of bad vibes is present, and it never lets up for a second. Often fear is driven by anticipation, but Silent Hill 2 is all anticipation, with the sounds of the lying figures and co being ever present. In some ways, it's a difficult state of mind to be locked into.
Oh fuck off, what the?
It's fair to say that Silent Hill 2 has stepped up its visual and audio game,
Give me a
but
little bit
that's
of a
to be
jump.
expected for a 2024 release. The bigger and perhaps more impactful change is perspective, with Silent Hill 2 adopting the trusty over-the-shoulder playstyle that's become a staple of the genre. What could have once been considered sacrilege for the series now serves the gameplay well, helping the unearthly combat encounters feel surprisingly familiar. Like the original, James's arsenal is limited, with the only available weapons in the section that I played being a handgun and his trusty wooden plank.
I'm assuming limited ammo.
Combat is certainly light and rudimentary, but Silent Hill 2 was never about that. It's serviceable in a way that complements the character's ability, although I imagine it would have been extremely tempting for Bloober Team to strap James up Rambo style, although it would have been a disservice to the character and the story it's telling. That's not to say that James doesn't have a new move in his locker though. Silent Hill 2 implements a new dodge mechanic, allowing James to quickly dart out of the way of an enemy's projectile vomit or pyramid head swinging blade. It's a simple, quick shuffle, not a Dark Souls-like forward roll, but it's a tool that helped me quickly establish a swing, dodge rhythm before the lying figures threw up their guts all over me. Perhaps the biggest compliment I can give is that it's a move that feels like it always should have been in Silent Hill 2. From what I've seen so far, the story is largely faithful, and I visited all the locations I expected to in the first few hours. The opening jaunt through the streets of Silent Hill is expanded though, tasking you to solve a puzzle involving a jukebox, and forcing you to visit several of the town's locations. Along the way, there's plenty to examine further and marvel at the detail layered into this once sparse location. While purists may scoff at this addition, I feel like it's a smart move that encourages you to spend a little more time roaming in the iconic foggy streets. And it's certainly a welcome addition before you spend a large portion of the game funneled down dark hallways in a largely linear path. Fans of the original will be happy to hear that the remake doesn't hold back with its returning puzzles. Like the original, the remake scales clues based on your difficulty level. But even on the normal difficulty setting, I found some puzzles momentary head scratchers that encouraged me to truly absorb my surroundings, especially after hard switching from my kill everything that moves headspace. Fans of the 2001 classic and the Resident Evil series know exactly what kind of thing to expect, using environmental clues to solve riddles and combinations. But it felt like there was a little less signposting in Silent Hill 2 than in its peers. It's hard for me to quantify this, but all I can say is that my usual urge to brute force the puzzles was quickly replaced by a wish to legitimately solve them. Hopefully that speaks to the puzzle's design and not the pressures of the PlayStation environment. Bloober Team's decision making when rebuilding this classic has been clever, but it's not perfect. The dialogue and performances still feel a little too campy and silly for my taste, often taking me out of the super serious tone.
No. You shouldn't be here.
Unlike Resident Evil, where the campy nature is a big part of the vibe, Silent Hill in 2024 requires a subtle touch to complement the same masterful approach in atmosphere and sound design. Purists may celebrate its faithful remaking of the original lines, but I felt like there was an opportunity here for some subtle tweaks. I only got a small taste of the dialogue though, and Silent Hill 2 isn't exactly known for long conversations, so perhaps it's not any kind of deal breaker.
You didn't love Mary anyway.
What? Hey, wait!
Another irksome inclusion is the logical but slightly tedious activity of opening countless kitchen cupboards and drawers to collect handgun ammo and healing items, similar in a way to modern games like The Last of Us. It makes sense on paper, organically placing your collectible items in realistic locations, but I can't help feel like it took me out of the atmosphere, altering my thought process from fear to loot every time I entered a new room. Maybe it says more about me than the game, but several times after entering the room, I was jumped on by a hidden mannequin because I had prioritized scouring for pickups instead of enemies. Disappointingly, from what I've seen so far of Silent Hill 2, it doesn't appear to incorporate my favourite feature the best remakes tend to have: taking your expectations based on what you know about the original and subverting them. 2002's Resident Evil remake, which played around with the dogs jumping through the window jump scare that all fans expected, is the perfect example of how this can be expertly crafted. The approach allows for tension of a fake out and the creative space to drop new scares in where you least expect it. The Silent Hill 2 remake doesn't appear to have any real moments like that, and ultimately, no real big swings that change the landscape for hardcore fans. At least not what I saw in the opening 3 hours. As a remake, Silent Hill 2 falls more in line with Bluepoint's faithful Shadow of the Colossus rather than Capcom's rejuvenated Resident Evil 2. It substitutes bold new swings for a slavish dedication to the original, which by no means is a bad thing, just not the radical steps some might expect. Silent Hill 2 certainly needed a fresh coat of paint and a tune of the engine, and Bloober Team has provided that in spades. But everything else is an extremely faithful reimagining that mostly resists the urge to alter the successful formula of a stone cold classic. And if you like that video and you want to find out more about Silent Hill 2, then be sure to stick with IGN.
There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. This game comes out in October. I think it looks pretty good. From a guy who hasn't played the originals, me going into it blind gameplay-wise, I do know the story, like I said, but blind as in gameplay, playing it for the first time, I think it looks good. But I know it's a very popular series, a very popular game, and people will critique it from playing the originals to seeing this new stuff, but at the end of the day, you can't really judge it until you actually play it. So yeah, but I'm gonna be playing it. I hope you guys enjoyed this little reaction. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.